Rich here again on Legacy, part 4 of the series on weather routing. We took a break from looking at weather because there was nothing in sight and went out for a few days. Here's some quick scenes from that trip. Back to weather though. There's still nothing on the horizon, but just for yucks, I did a weather routing for this coming Saturday. It didn't look really good, but it does illustrate something that I wanted to talk about. This is the routing. Notice how this goes way out of the way. It's PWG that goes out of the way the furthest. PWE is the red line right here. Let's see how much it adds to the trip. PWG, passage time is 7 days. PWE is 6 days. ECMWF is 5.66. Why does it do that? Why does it go so far out of the way? Well, the answer to that is something I haven't talked about, and that's in routing preferences. And you can select comfort or fastest time. If you select comfort, you get these parameters. Avoid, when possible, wind speeds greater than, and here's 25 knots upwind, 25 knots reaching, 25 downwind, that's what I put. And avoid where possible waves greater than 3 meters is what I put. I should lower those because I really wouldn't go out in those conditions. But if you want to just see the fastest route, you go to fastest time and run a weather routing. Okay, there it is. That took about 3 minutes because I have really slow internet access. But you can see all the routes are much more direct now. And if we go to the table and look at summary, passage time 5.51, 5.69, they're all about the same, just under 6 days. Pretty fast trip with an average of 6 knots. We're not going to average that kind of speed on Legacy and be comfortable, so it's not a route we're taking. I guess the other thing I could show you is if we look at waves here, we've been talking a lot about waves, like 2.4 meters at 6.5 seconds isn't suitable for Legacy. Cindy would leave me, I'd be what's known as a single-hander after that passage. So, but how do you quantify that? So previously I've been looking at height and period and, kind of just a subjective, how do I feel about it? But I did something a little bit different. Bob McDavitt, in his Weathergram about a year ago, and I'll put a link to it below, mentioned the steepness factor. And so I calculated here, I just pasted into a spreadsheet the numbers from PredictWind, and I calculated the steepness factor and colored it with conditional formatting to be approximately comfortable for us. I generally like a steepness factor of 70 or more, and so those are the ones that are getting towards green. 100 is very green, very comfortable. Whereas 40 down in this neighborhood is really marginal, and under 40 for us is just a no-go. This is based on a table that Bob McDavitt published in his Weathergram, and in that Weathergram he cites the author. But this is the table, and he seemed to think this purple line was acceptable. That's a steepness factor of 40, and these circled points are 3 examples he cites in his Weathergram. For me, I look at the height and the period on that line, and they don't look very comfortable to me. For me, it would be the next line, which is a steepness factor of 60 or even a steepness factor of 80. So that's where that steepness factor comes from, and I think it's a very fast way of evaluating the sea conditions with one number. I'll put a link to the spreadsheet. You can download that if you want on our website, and I'll put it on the YouTube video so you can get to our website. Anyway, that's all I have to say for today. There's still no weather window in sight for us, and kind of bad weather here at New Caledonia, so we're just going to be in the berth enjoying French life. Thanks a lot.